Welcome to Wellness is a Way of Life, the podcast for female leaders seeking sustainable energy, clarity, and confidence. I'm Megan Swan, your guide on a journey to mastering wellness as an integrated part of your life. Let's explore personalized wellness strategies that truly resonate with who you are. Hey, welcome back to Wellness as a Way of Life for female founders in tech, where we explore well-being, mindset, and business building strategies from a wellness-aligned approach. And we are passionate about supporting women who are shaping the future. I'm your host, Megan Swan. And today we're diving into a rapidly growing industry that's transforming healthcare for women around the world. FemTech. You know it, one of my favorite topics. So why is FemTech the future and how can you be a part of it? Let's start with defining terms. FemTech, which is short for female technology, encompasses software products and services using technology to focus on women's health and wellness. From fertility tracking to menopause management to period care and enlightenment, this sector is disrupting traditional healthcare in exciting ways. We love a good disruptor. Today, we'll explore why FemTech is not just a niche market, but a critical frontier in global health innovation, and how you, whether you're an entrepreneur, investor, healthcare professional, or simply someone passionate about health equity, can be part of this revolution. So, first off, understanding the FemTech landscape. Let's start with some context. FemTech as a term was coined by entrepreneur Ida Tin, who we had on the podcast earlier this year. Highly recommend you go back and listen to that episode. It was fire. She coined the term in 2016 and trademarked it, not for her own use, but to ensure that it didn't get into the hands of bad actors. So she trademarked it to protect the public use of it. But women's health technologies have been developing for decades. What's changed is the recognition of women's health needs as a distinct market worthy of technological innovation and investment. Hello, more than half the population. The numbers tell a compelling story. The global femtech market was valued at $40 billion in 2023 and is projected to reach over $75 billion with a B by 2028. That's a compound annual growth rate of nearly 15%, significantly outpacing many other tech sectors. But beyond the impressive market projections, what's truly exciting is the breadth of areas that are being addressed. FemTech isn't just period tracking apps anymore, like Ida Tin's Clue. It is so many verticals. So everything from breast health, breastfeeding, cardiovascular care for women specifically, chronic conditions, fertility, fitness, general health, hair, hormonal health, maternal health, menopause, mental health, ovarian health, pelvic floor health, reproductive health, safety, sexual wellness, urinary health, uterine health, vaginal health, it goes on and on. So essentially, reproductive health and fertility solutions, pregnancy and nursing care, pelvic health innovations, menopause, the big M is so trendy. Women-specific disease treatment and prevention, mental health support tailored to women's experiences solely, and sexual wellness products designed by women for women in mind. What's driving this growth? Well, three key factors. First, the historical underrepresentation of women in medical research has created significant gaps in healthcare offerings. FemTech is stepping in to address these unmet needs. If you have not already read it, I highly recommend you read Invisible Women, Exposing Data Bias in a World Designed by Men. It was published in 2019 by the British feminist author Caroline Criado Perez. Must read. Secondly, women are increasingly taking control of their health data and demanding better solutions. Well, yeah, The average woman spends 30% more on healthcare than men do throughout their lifetime. Let's not even get into the misdiagnoses and wait times. Oh, it's infuriating. Yet, has been chronically underserved by the healthcare industry. Why? Because fundamentally they don't understand women's bodies because they haven't really studied them until relatively recently. Third, technological advancements, particularly in mobile health, AI, and wearable tech, have enabled personalized health monitoring and insights that were impossible just a decade ago. I mean, it's really exciting what's coming down the pipe. So, why FemTech is the future? I'm confident that FemTech represents the future because of these 5 compelling reasons. Let's hit it. Number 1, FemTech addresses a universal need. Women make up a little bit more than half of the global population and influence 80% of healthcare decisions, yet women's health has been historically underfunded and understudied. The one-size-fits-all approach to medicine, which I hate, where male physiology is treated as the default, problematic, has left significant gaps in care, obviously. FemTech is correcting this imbalance by designing solutions specifically for women's bodies and experiences, and increasingly being designed by women, which I believe it is more important and just as important, maybe not more. So, number 2, the market opportunity is enormous and largely untapped, aka it's just good business. Women control over $20 trillion in annual consumer spending globally. In healthcare specifically, women outspend men by 30%, as we mentioned. Despite this purchasing power, women's health has received disproportionately low investment. No surprise. In 2019, only about 4% of overall research and development funding in healthcare went to women's health issues. This disparity represents a massive opportunity. Number 3, FemTech improves health outcomes through personalization. I love this. No one size fits all. Women's health needs are unique and cyclical. The hormone fluctuations throughout a woman's life create distinct health patterns that traditionally healthcare has or often fails to address. FemTech leverages data and AI to provide personalized insights, helping women understand their bodies better and make informed decisions about their health, hence bringing back agency. Number 4, as to why FemTech is the future, it's driving health equity. FemTech has the potential to democratize access to women's healthcare. Mobile health solutions can reach women in underserved areas, providing education, diagnostics, and treatment options where traditional healthcare infrastructure is lacking or non-existent. This is particularly important for reproductive and maternal health in regions where high maternal mortality rates exist. Number 5, FemTech innovations extend beyond women. While focused on women's health, advances in FemTech often benefit broader populations. Innovations in non-hormonal contraceptives, for example, drive research in endocrinology that has applications beyond reproductive health. Similarly, advances in breast cancer detection using AI are informing cancer screening technologies more broadly. And the elephant in the room, obviously, the gender in the population that is literally creating in their bodies the next generations, the healthier the female body is, the healthier all genders will be moving forward as they are brought into this world. So those are the reasons why FemTech is the future. However, of course, there are challenges ahead. So let's get into it. Despite its promise, FemTech faces significant challenges, and understanding these obstacles is crucial for anyone to enter this space. The funding gap persists. Surprise, surprise. I mean, we know that only 2% approximately of VC capital goes to female-founded businesses, but the gap is real. In FemTech, while FemTech investment has grown, reaching about $2.5 billion in 2022, it is still a tiny fraction of overall healthcare investment. Female founders who lead many FemTech startups face additional barriers in securing funding. That we know. Regulatory hurdles are also substantial. Many FemTech products are considered medical devices and must navigate complex approval processes, which can, of course, slow innovation and market entry. Another massive one kind of falls under FemTech or can be related when it's things to do with sexual wellness or even just breast cancer awareness. The amount of barriers, we spoke to the censorship ladies out of the UK that are researching and documenting how the big social media platforms are routinely and structurally, strategically, either completely rejecting and banning or shadow banning any ads that are talking about women's health, even though if it's, not even a sexual topic, but so what if it is? We completely have no issue seeing an ad for erectile dysfunction. So why should an ad about breast cancer awareness or women's sexuality and pleasure be problematic? You tell me. Okay, so now another challenge, of course, is data privacy concerns. They're particularly acute in women's health. I mean, current geopolitical situation, or you're really going to be careful about what data and information you are putting into the ethosphere, if you will, for so many reasons, which we won't get into the politics, but you know what I mean. So information about fertility, menstruation, and sexual health is highly sensitive for so many reasons. Building trust requires transparent data practices and robust security, obviously. I mean, I would argue this is an essential for any tech company. Cultural taboos, of course, continue to affect how we discuss women's health issues. Topics like menstruation, menopause, and sexual health can carry stigma in many contexts, creating barriers to adoption and education. So yeah, it's getting way better, let's face it. Like podcasts like Call Your Daddy that are just putting it all out there. I feel like, again, the big M, menopause, is very trendy right now. So many women talking about it. I see so many events. I just went to this super cool event here in Calgary that was all about perimenopause. And sexual health, like specifically framed, in terms of female pleasure more than anything else. The tide is shifting, but it's still not the norm. So how can you be a part of the FemTech revolution? Now, for the exciting part, there are entry points regardless of your background or expertise. So let's get into it. For entrepreneurs and innovators, identify unmet needs by talking directly to women about their health challenges. Consider overlooked demographics like women of color, LGBTQ plus communities, or older women whose needs are often even more underserved. Partner with healthcare providers to ensure clinical validity. Prioritize user-centered design. Many early FemTech products failed because they were created without sufficient input from actual users. So again, we really want to focus on supporting women, creating and designing products that serve women. For investors, fellow investors, recognize that women's health is not a niche market. It is half of the population, more than half. Look beyond reproductive health to the many other aspects of women's well-being. We discussed multiple verticals that you could latch onto. Support diverse founding teams who understand the problem they're trying to solve. Like, I would argue any product serving women's health, there should be at least one woman as a founder on that team. Let's not get into the flow story. Okay, so consider impact metrics alongside financial returns, right? This is impact angel investing. Like, we're looking at triple bottom line, not just financials. Many FemTech innovations deliver significant social benefits. Going back to my previous point on when half of the population that births the next generations is in better health, society is going to be in better health as a whole. For healthcare professionals, if you're out there, stay informed about FemTech innovations that could benefit your patients. Consider partnerships with FemTech companies to validate their products or provide clinical guidance. Advocate for integration of validated FemTech solutions into standard care pathways. For anyone passionate about this space, as passionate as I am, or just super curious to know more, you can become an early adopter of FemTech products and provide feedback. I'm currently a beta tester for Phase and a few other products. Like, I'm always happy to jump in, and that's like a really sort of a low-hanging fruit way that you can get involved, get curious. Join online communities focused on women's health innovation. Advocate for research funding directed toward women's health issues. You can see my article on LinkedIn that got a lot of traction, that some people in certain circles are being told that femtech is supposedly a dirty word and they should use the approved women's health. Oh, such bullshit. Anyway, help reduce stigma by normalizing conversations about women's health. We're talking sexuality, maternal health, menopause, perimenopause, mental health that is specific to women. Yeah, cardiovascular. I mean, again, you got to read Invisible Women. Well, at first it'll enrage you and then it'll mobilize you. So, spotlight on a few breakthrough innovations and that are just super exciting developments in femtech today. In reproductive health, companies are developing hormone-free contraceptives and at-home fertility testing kits that provide lab-quality results. Woohoo! In maternal health, wearable devices now monitor fetal and maternal health in real time, potentially reducing complications and improving outcomes. In the menopause category, which affects every woman, yet has received minimal research attention historically, new solutions include wearable devices that address hot flashes through temperature regulation. I mean, I would point more to just the overall re-education of society on, the fact that although in very key symptom, there are over 75 symptoms of menopause, and ultimately, there's so much that you can do. You have agency in preventing the worst version of your own symptoms that you are sort of potentially going to experience by taking really good care of yourself, which looks like eating properly, exercising, moving your body, stress management, little or no alcohol. You know the drill. In disease detection, specifically, AI algorithms can now analyze mammograms with greater accuracy than many radiologists, potentially reducing both false positive and missed diagnoses. Mental health platforms are incorporating female hormone cycle data to provide more personalized support for conditions like anxiety and depression, and which affect women at higher rates than men. So, in conclusion, in order to wrap up today's episode, I hope I've convinced you that femtech isn't just a passing trend, but a fundamental shift in how we approach healthcare for women. The convergence of technological innovation, increased awareness of gender-specific health needs, and growing market demands has created the perfect conditions for femtech to flourish. And the implications extend far beyond business opportunities. Femtech has the potential to address persistent inequities in healthcare and improve outcomes for over half the world's population. Whether you're developing the next breakthrough solution, investing in innovative startups, or simply advocating for better women's health resources in your community, you can be a part of this transformation. I'll leave you with this thought. Women's health is not a women's issue alone. It is a societal issue with profound implications for public health, economic prosperity, and social equity. The future of healthcare is more personalized, more data-driven, and more inclusive, and femtech is helping lead the way. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Megan Swan, and this has been a solo episode of Wellness as a Way of Life for female founders in tech. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share, and join us next week for another deep dive into the well-being mindset strategy to elevate women who are shaping the future and building it. Until next time. Thanks for tuning in to Wellness as a Way of Life. Are you ready to make wellness a natural part of your routine? Let's stay connected. Go to meganswanwellness.com. Until next time, live well and thrive.